tranquility.
Good evening, everybody, and top of the morning to you. It's Overwatch Tranquility coming at you on a lovely St. Patty's Day. Tonight, we have an incredible matchup lined up. It's going to be Fighting Potatoes going up against the Comets. Bringing the action right at you tonight is going to be me. It's Door, and we've got with us the lovely Ski Free Yeti. Ski Free, how you doing?
Lovely, huh? I don't think anybody's ever called me lovely before, but I'll take it. I'm doing great. I'm excited for some Harmony tier action. We are in, I'll call it moving week here in the Tranquility community. Lots of teams jockeying for position, preparing for stage 2 placements here. Things are looking really good for both teams. I am excited. Both these teams look really, really good so far.
They do. Fighting Potatoes sitting at 2-1 as well. The Comets in the same exact position. Fighting Potatoes, though, notably taking a loss to Modify in a very close 2-3 fashion, whereas the Comets were able to beat Modify in a 3-1 fashion. But now it's going to be all up to who wins this week, because Comets look like they took a little bit of a dip last week up against Get Off My Land, where they lost the series 2-1, which was not a matchup people really expected to go that way. So this is really going to be a comeback week here for the Comets. You want to start breaking down these rosters for us, though, Ski?
Yeah, let's start in the let's start with the Comets here. But I think Get Off My Land has kind of turned a few heads. But Comets, speaking of turning heads, definitely has turned heads initially this season. These are the preseason champions, and I think they were definitely the clear favorites to win in the Harmony tier at the start here. Taking a look at this roster, you have Funny Name, the captain on, and you have Fairy Tales. You have Ruby on tank. You have Alex in DPS. You have Sips T, who's just a standout player on tank as well. Probably one of the best off tanks in the tier, no question. Newcomers Red Mudkip and Shruth as well, both recently added to the roster. This team is really, really strong, top to bottom, honestly. Again, I look at that standout tank line has been phenomenal between Ruby and Sips T. They have been both just absolutely dominant in that role. They have crushed every single team in front of them. Also, the Brig play from Funny Name has been a really big highlight for this team. Funny Name returning from Season 4, the one remaining member of Comets, from Season 3, the one remaining member of Comets built this team up, and they have looked really strong. They're in third place in Pool A, and if they win this one, they're in really good shape, because they're going up next week against Paradise, who has not had a strong start here.
They are third place in Pool A, but you know who's second place in Pool A? It's Fighting Potatoes, currently at 2-1. Their roster coming in, it's Sneaky Kitten, Death Knot, Race FPV, Solitary Bird, Immortal, Euphoria, Core, and Shepvik. And there's some really standout players here. A lot of familiar faces to the Tranquility community. And that win up against Karma last week bodes very, very well for these players who are all looking to make their mark up against the winning preseason team here. I gotta ask Ski Free, we're looking at these lineups, we're looking at their records and everything they've done so far. It's only been a couple weeks, but where do you have to give the edge to in this matchup?
You know, I think coming in, the clear favorite is Comets. And I think it's hard to argue with their record. I mean, they sat right now, again, at 2-1 with really tough loss last week. Some people might even look at that as a bit of a fluke, honestly. Kind of an unexpected defeat, really, when you compare it to what they have been facing up to this point. And just continuing to watch what they've been doing. Again, in the preseason, it was a dominant performance the whole way. I think Comets are the clear favorite coming in, but I think it'd be a mistake to count out the Fighting Potatoes. They've been doing a lot of work this season to kind of get in line and really kind of change the perception about that team. You know, they've been in this community since Season 1, the only team to have played in all 4 seasons in the Tranquility community, and they never once made the playoffs. But this looks to be the season where they're going to turn it all around. But I think right now the edge, if you're being an unbiased caster, which I'm definitely trying to be, has to go to the Comets.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a completely fair bit of analysis there. The Comets do have 3 wins to their name. One of Fighting Potatoes' wins was a forfeit win. I'm not sure who they got their forfeit win to. I don't think it matters too much, though. They are sitting at this even record, and Fighting Potatoes, with that forfeit win, they're I mean, officially, they're about a week behind.
It wasn't a forfeit. They did beat Space Invaders. That was the week before Space Invaders unfortunately left the community. But that was a win against Space Invaders 4-0. So a little bit of, I mean, the schedule can be a little deceiving there, but it was a 4-0 win over Space Invaders, which they only... taking a look, they only lost to, or Space Invaders only lost to Get Off My Land 3-2. So if you're, I mean, taking a look, inverse property, ipso facto,
the transitive
derivation, transitive properties, all those things. I think that all makes sense here. But Lijiang Tower to start.
Yeah, Lijiang Tower coming in, and it looks like we're probably going to see pretty standard stuff coming out from both these teams. We're already seeing Comets start to lock in that Reinhardt May that's been really, really key. But like we mentioned earlier, funny name, in on the Brigitte. He's been a real standout for the team, and that's going to be interesting to see him play. What's he going to be looking to do here as we load in the garden?
I think Funny Name's going to obviously try to be escorting in that Reinhardt as much as possible. That's the main goal on the Brigitte, is just get in there and brawl with the team. We see the Potatoes coming out here, Immortal on that Doomfist. He's been very potent on that throughout the season, trying to cause a lot of disruption, see if they can create some havoc in the team fights here. Potatoes to the point first.
Yeah, I really like this composition coming out from the Comets, though. They're lining themselves up well. This Brigitte is going to play great into the Doomfist. Immortal's going to have a really hard time getting in, and now as the Comets push on to the point, the issue is going to be forced. This Brigitte starts making her way in. She has to get the damage down. She wants to be healing her team, though. They're just playing on opposite sides of this pillar, and finally, the fight begins to break down. One of these Reinhardt shields should go down. The Maywell lands onto Euphoria. Gets stopped, though, out of his charge. Nice flashbang to be keeping alive from Race FPV. However, Immortal does go down. Euphoria finds a charge on the Funny Name, going down as a trade for it. There is still one Reinhardt alive, though, and that's for the Comets. So he's going to be swinging through absolutely everybody, holding on to this point. He's immovable. Immortal has finally come back to this point, and just in time, starts dishing out the damage, takes out the entirety of the DPS line of the Comets, and turns it right back around here for the Fighting Potatoes.
What a play from Immortal, coming back from spawn and turning that around. Sneaky Kittens got that Coalescence up so quickly, popped it, knowing he could still turn around that fight with the reinforcements coming. Comets just did not close out that fight quick enough, and Potatoes take the first cap.
And keep an eye here on Euphoria. Shadow is going to be looking to outplay Ruby as they push on to this point. This is a really great position for the Fighting Potatoes to be played with this Doomfist, with this Moira. They can sustain this corner for a very long time. Moving in with the Brigitte here is going to be the real issue, but if they can just close that distance quick enough, no! Euphoria gets walled off, barely able to find his way back in, but Race FPV finds one through the shield. It's going to be Rose getting caught out on the... That's most of that damage cut off, and then with the Shatter down, it's going to be nothing but a Doomfist on top of everybody as Immortal picks up his second 2K of the night.
Great combo play there. Potatoes recognizing the opportunity. They get aggressive with the beat drop, maybe unnecessary in hindsight, but Euphoria with an excellent Earth Shatter and Immortal closing out with the with the move that I can never remember, and I'm so sorry about that, but the Doomfist punch from the sky taking down the 2K. Immortal looking great on the Doomfist.
Hey, he has so far. The core, though, using that sound barrier is going to be an issue when Sif T looks to throw in this bomb. We saw it in the pregame. He's been huge with him. It's up. It's over. Nothing to combo with it, though. It finds one kill on Euphoria, and that might just be enough. The Reinhardt down. The entirety of the Comets spill down onto the point. Next will be Solitary, getting whacked through as Race FPV is in on the back line, adding insult to injury. It's a Deadeye. The only man left to try and hold on to this one will be Immortal. He's got this Doomfist. He's been big on it before. Can he do it again? No. Ruby slices and dices through with the hammer of Reinhardt.
We see Euphoria is returning to the fight. Comets with a good start to this, but the reinforcements are back for the Potatoes. They could turn this around. Oh, but there comes Ultimates right now.
Ooh, Rose. Oh, with a huge Death Blossom flying in just in time. Solitary manages to chuck in a self-destruct. Finds Alex, and now with Immortal down this point, should be just about open, but they're doing such a good job of staggering this one out. Core staying up high on that Lucio allows them to take it over to 99%. That's actually going to be pretty much everything that the Fighting Potatoes were on. As a matter of fact, they even managed to even up the ultimate game a bit.
They did, and Coalescence got thrown in at the end along with that Diva Bomb, maybe unnecessarily by the Potatoes. They might regret having that gone in the but they are in a situation right now, 99-0. They have all the advantage in the world trying to get this one back.
There's a lot of pressure, though, as Immortal starts to move in. Punishes Funny Name for getting a little bit too aggressive there on the Brigitte. And with your Reinhardt frozen, there's nothing you can do about Ruby with the Shatter in your face. Knocks down all the members here of the Fighting Potatoes.
But look at the Potatoes
yet. The DPS are just running straight onto this point, murking everybody there. And Rosé's the last bastion of this Comets defense. Manages to get out on his own, but there's no healers to keep him alive. Funny name gets back in the Brigitte just in time, shoots him a couple juice boxes, but that's not going to be enough to keep him alive. Will it, though? Gets charged through, but the sound barrier as well. Everything is allowing this Reaper to just put in work on the point. Euphoria forced back off on this Reinhardt, and this is going to be the Comets retaking the point.
Wow, excellent work there from the Comets on the recontest there, recognizing they needed to get back as quick as possible. Big plays there from Rose, staying alive as long as possible. Red Mudkip invests the beat drop that might punish them now at the end here, but they needed to use it then to keep that point as long as they did.
Oh, Rose's got this Death Blossom though, and you know they're searching for a big one. 67%. This could be moving into that last fight territory. You win this one, you find a couple staggers. That could be game, set, match. That could be this map turned around with the Coalescence committed already from the Fighting Potatoes. It doesn't look great here. The Comets, though, get knocked down by a shatter of Euphoria. Now, as the Fighting Potatoes spill onto the point, it's Rose with the Death Blossom dropping in. Fine sneaking in. The main heal's gone. There's nothing left to stop the DPS here of the Comets from absolutely running through, steamrolling the entirety of the Potatoes.
The Potatoes just made the mistake there of not accounting for the Reaper, and the Reaper just destroyed their backline all in one shot. Immortal's trying to get back to the point here, and he does.
And with Immortal on the point, that's actually going to bode pretty well here now.
Ruby taken down.
Got Ruby. The main tank is gone, but so Sneaky can. The main heals, all that sustain now cut out here from the Potatoes. They're gonna have to do it all on their own. They're gonna have to find these kills solo. These DPS are gonna have to pop off. Race FPV though, not able to find anything with that Deadeye. Lines it up in the back line, but unable to do much with that. Pillar right in his way. Sifsy chucks out a bomb, manages to find one. Immortal is back on the point though. This Doomfist looking to put in work. He's making his way through, but he's up against 4 members here of the Comets who are all hunting for his head. Sneaky Kitten alive on the Moira is going to be able to heal him up for a while with your Doomfist gone. What are you going to do here, Zamora? Doesn't have fate, doesn't have anything as Rose finds a 3K to end off the point.
Very closely contested map. A few mistakes there by the Potatoes cost them that fight, that map without question. They had that one in the bag, investing a few too many ults at the wrong time, and that what cost them. Comets did a great job turning around a seemingly lost map with great ult control and a really, really good plan going into each team fight. Comets right now have the edge moving forward here.
Yeah, I've got to hand it over to the Comets. They managed to adapt towards the middle of the game. They made the fights last a long time, and they took advantage of their brawling potential with that Reaper. Rose just got so much value so often in those fights, and as well as Immortal was doing on the Doomfist, I've got to say he's been standout, but it's really, really difficult to just out-sustain that Brigitte and the Reaper in a fight like that.
What I would like to see the Potatoes do is maybe look at changing up this comp a little bit, especially on the heals. I would honestly like to see them bring in an Ana. Sneaky Kittens has done very well on the Ana thus far this season, and seeing her on the Moira maybe as a mistake could help a lot dealing with some of this sustain.
I am liking the Mei out of Race FPV. It's buying them a lot of space right now. Euphoria searches for a charge item, but finally leaves his entire team open, though. Rose is going to punish, finds Euphoria out, and now with Alex down, there's only one Mei alive on the point, and that's going to be Race FPV. He's searching for a wall. He can freeze up. He's got free reign right now of the front line of the Comets. It's a matter of whether or not they can keep themselves alive. With Solitary Bird out of mech, that bodes fairly well. Now having the rally on the Brigitte, funny name, charging it up in absolute light speed. Euphoria's back on the point there. The Reinhardts are both alive, and this fight looks to last so much longer. Euphoria charges in. He's going to be punished for that one real quickly. Gets walled off. Should be taken down here. That's going to be it. Sneaking, unable to keep him alive with that Coalescent Solitary Bird. Next one to be frozen up by the blaster of Alex, and it just seems like a lost one here for the Potatoes as the point finally ticks over.
Yeah, Potatoes just could not turn that one around. Target focus lacking there without question. Comets did a great job focusing out targets, walling them off. Potatoes are going to have a really rough go of it here, and Immortal is getting very deep, perhaps unnecessarily. We'll see if he uses this Meteor Strike offensively or defensively. He chooses offensively, maybe ill-advised. He's 1v5 right now.
Oh.
Here come the rest of the Potatoes. And it's a 5v5, even fight.
He's flying by the seat of his pants right now, but he's not able to find anything with it. Luckily enough for himself, gets out. But unluckily for him, he's coming up against just about 6 ultimates here from the side of the Comets. Core's sound barrier is going to have to be perfect if they want to do this. Sifsy chucks the bomb over. No sound barrier. Takes out Race FPV. Now they're facing the shatter of Ruby, and it finds absolutely everybody. That's going to be another fight going the way of the Comets in absolutely incredible fashion.
Comets just absolutely controlling this match right now. There's clearly a plan they have going in each and every fight, and they're executing it to perfection. Potatoes need to reorganize. They need to get their act together right now if they're going to try to turn this fight around.
Yeah, they're starting to build up that bank of ultimates, and if Race FPV can avoid getting his Blizzard eaten here by Sipsty, that would be a huge play for his side. The Blizzard comes out, does not get eaten here from the Comets. Now they've just got a wall in their way. Race FPV placed it well, but is it going to be enough to keep him alive? No, absolutely not. Rose has a Death Blossom, and they're looking for even more than they found on guard.
Rose blossoming in the back of the Potatoes backline there, and Potatoes not able to get anything in. A team kill for the Comets, 6-0 there. Potatoes have to turn this around. They have 4 ults going into this next fight, but Comets have 3. They're investing their ults really intelligently right now.
Yeah, their ultimate rotation is absolutely perfect, and now it's going to be the Fighting Potatoes looking to push their way in with everything they've got. The Shatter comes in, knocks down just the Reinhardt, but the counter Blizzard will look to keep the Potatoes alive. Sound Barrier is going to be committed, stops the bomb from finding too much Solitary Bird. Doesn't get to check out red. Mudkip now is Fighting Potatoes make the way on the point. They're a little bit split up, but their target focus is excellent this time. Takes out Rose. They recognize that Reaper's been a problem, but now they've got a Reinhardt right in their face. The bomb's up from from 15. Doesn't find anybody on the opposite side of the point, but now Solitary Bird will be going down to the Fire Strike of Ruby, and with that off tank on, that's going to be an issue now, though. The Brigitte does manage to go down, and so without that sustain, it should be the Fighting Potatoes finishing off this point.
Potatoes finally tried to bring it back. They're going to try to mirror what the Comets did last round. They're in a tough situation, though, right now. They bomb, or I'm sorry, that's just a remake. They have no ults really coming up except maybe a Coalescence. Potatoes got to take a look at what they're doing here and really organize if they're going to be able to pull this one out.
Yeah, the ultimate game is going to be really hard for them to take control, especially with how hard the Comets have been, or by how well the Comets have been playing the ultimate economy. It's
great wall.
Needing a couple of easy fight wins right now, quick ones where the Comets don't get too much ultimate charge, but that's going to be hard to do with Race FPV down without Treme. There's nothing you can do right now about Alex pushing forward. Euphoria, though, has something to say about it. Takes out Ruby, and now with Core taking out Funny Name. Sneaky Kitten finds another one, and is 3 kills down as Euphoria makes his way through it. The hammer, and now the boot from Solitary Bird to finish it off.
Comets did not capitalize on the failed wall there from Race. And honestly, great collapse in on that Coalescence from Sneaky Kitten, leading the charge. Euphoria gets that shatter up real quick, and they're able to finish this one out. They got 2 ults coming back, and it's still anybody's match here.
Yeah, the Comets still not done with this one. They've got 3 ultimates to their name. Alex has that. Oh, the Blizzard goes in, but it's eaten by Solitary Bird. It's so clutch here. Now Rose, he's got the Death Blossom, looks to clutch it out, but the freeze comes through as well. Alex is absolutely going off right now, though, as Immortal gets frozen up. That Doomfist gone. That's a lot of that damage spread out of the way. Res FPV as well. No DPS alive here for the Fighting Potatoes. They got to back up. They got to buy time for their team to last as long as they can. But Rose is about to be back on this Reaper, and Sifty is doing so much damage on the Steamer right now. Ruby is swinging his hammer through absolutely everybody on top of this point. Solitary is trying to stay alive as best as they can as the bomb's up, down, finds nobody, though, for the Fighting Potatoes. They are looking for something, anything to clutch this one out, but instead all they're going to find is a Sips T self-destruct over the point. The Blizzard looks to freeze up somebody, unable to do much of anything. Ruby turns around into the shatter of Euphoria, finds a lot, but with only Race FPV alive on this point, that's the only thing they've got for sustain. The Fighting Potatoes desperately clinging on to this control point right now, but they're unable to do anything. Immortal is back alive on this point. This Doomfist has been huge before. Will he be able to do it again? Back on the point. He's staying alive for so long. Rose has already charged up another Death Blossom, and Immortal's doing everything in his power to stay alive. Euphoria's back on the point. Nowhere near a shatter right now in sight for them. In fact, Funny Name is actually coming up on that Brigitte ultimate. And now with the point ticked over, it's instant. It's over. That's it. Comets take map 1, 2-0.
Wow, 2-0, but what a close 2-0. Both teams really duking that thing out. A few mistakes here and there, costing both teams at times. But that tank line on the side of Comets just looks very good. Solitary Bird came up massive on the Diva, not only eating that Blizzard in that last team fight, but then following that up by eating the entire Death Blossom. It was a massive play that really gave the Potatoes a fighting chance in that last fight, but it just wasn't enough. They didn't have the coordination to be able to take down Rose and Alex, who were just doing so much damage to the team, and they just could not end those threats. Comets looking really good right now. Potatoes definitely brought it, though. This is definitely going to be a close match.
Yeah, I mean, considering, it's the old Overwatch joke, 2-0, but it was close, and those matches are definitely close, and it's hard to pinpoint one thing that the Potatoes were doing worse. We highlighted the tank line, but I honestly feel like the Fighting Potatoes tank line is playing pretty much up to par with what the Comets have been throwing out. I mean, Sips T and Ruby are a lot to deal with, but Euphoria especially has been doing a fantastic job. The shadows have been huge out of him, and so I'm really not sure what I want to see change out of the Taters here, but I think a little bit of it has to do with the composition they're running. I get the feeling that in these neutral fights, their Moira is running out of the healing, and that's when they start to lose. They get rid of that fade, somebody gets taken out in the back line, and that's when it starts to fall apart, and Euphoria gets left all alone and has to make those clutch plays if they want to win fights, but you can't rely on that.
I agree, and I think that was a huge problem for them. I think an Ana would have really done them one, and that's just something that needed to be happening there, that fight, that match, in order to really make a difference there on Li Zhang for them. The support from the Brigitte and the Lucio was just too much. But I mean, honestly, Comets just look really good. What amazed me again is Sips T. I think Sips T is the standout.
Yeah, Sips T is really impressive. And now off of the bench coming in, I believe we're actually going to have Truth coming in for Rose, who is doing an absolutely incredible job on the Reaper. But I think they're just looking to give Truth their first opportunity here in a Tranquility featured match, no less.
Yeah, definitely. It's an interesting opportunity here for both teams. But it's this is definitely not high masters level tanks here. Speaking of high masters tanks being coached. There's another tank called Truth within the Discord tier who plays for Tailwind, and that could be a point of confusion for everyone. This is not the same Truth. This is a different Truth. So no confusion there. But speaking of Masters tank, let's talk about that coach for Comets, HQC. Tranquility Community All-Star 2 seasons in a row. Definitely a big part of the success of that team. But it looks like we're going to go to Hanamura next.
I mean, it shows. We look at the SRs of these teams, and they're obviously pretty much dead even. They're in the same tier. But a lot of that does come down to coaching. And we saw how well the Comets were able to control the ultimate economy and just completely take an iron grip on the game. And that's kind of stuff that good coaching is going to get you. It's going to be good strategy, good communications, and it's clearly showing here for the Comets right now. I feel like it's been big plays coming out from the Fighting Potatoes and maybe just a little bit of mistake punishing that they've been doing that's been winning them fights. But as far as team cohesion looks, Comets look incredible.
They really do. I mean, Comets, I think that's been the Comets have been the pinnacle of the Harmony tier really the whole way through. And honestly, it was a big shock, I think, for a lot of people when they did drop to Get Off My Land for that reason. You know, they've been just standing out in every way. That tank line is so powerful. Their chemistry is so great. And I don't know if Get Off My Land, you know, we all know Get Off My Land is the team of memes. You know, they're the meme dream, honestly. And it honestly, maybe it got in their heads a little bit when they brought all the non-meta stuff out their way. But taking a look here, Potato's going to start this one out on defense. They're going the Hanzo Pharah route, bringing in some spam.
They are going to do that. The Mercy obviously going to be used here for the Pharah, but you do see that Ana swap that you were asking for. We'll see if that comes to fruition as being as good as we thought it might be. Death Knot on the Hanzo, though, could do a lot of work. There's a lot of really good angles for him to play in this point. And I don't think it's surprising at all that we see the same exact thing coming out from the Comets. I think they're a pretty by-the-books team, and they're going to look to win the exact same way they did last map.
And I've been a big proponent of Death Knot all preseason. I think he's a legitimate MVP candidate, and he will be a big part of the Potatoes' success here. Let's see if the Potatoes can turn it around.
Right now, you got to keep an eye on the Rhino. Oh my god, and a great anti-nade coming out from Shepvik. Puts down a lot of damage, but doesn't stop the damage from coming into them. As Solitary gets demeched and Euphoria goes down without a tank line alive now. The Fighting Potatoes are grasping at straws as the Comets make their way onto the point. This one seems all but lost as Death Knot firing arrows in is just going to get DM'd to death by Sips T, and that's going to be a very quick A-take from the Comets.
Yeah, unlucky there for the Potatoes. They had a great ultimate there, a great biotic grenade from Shepvik, just completely squandered by a lack of target focus. And Comets just capitalized with incredible closing power. And that's what we're seeing with them. Potatoes got to adjust to the fact that Comets are just not your average team.
Yeah, it's matching that target focus. Like you said, it's lost him a lot of fights so far. That's just what the Comets have been doing better. Oh no! But now the Comets have to worry about this barrage. Immortal gets it up, but Sips T is too quick. He's got the DM. He's keeping everybody alive. And now inside of a tiny hallway, they're getting swung onto him with Truth in the way. That's a lot of damage coming down the lane of the Fighting Potatoes, and now they do manage to land a great anti-nade on the 3 people, with Shepvik finding yet another one, but it's just too little, too late here, that the Potatoes might just be fried.
Potatoes might be in big trouble here. They're going to have an opportunity to potentially test this. No, that wall is going to actually stop them, it looks like. And just unfortunate. Potatoes really never able to get anything going, and just absolute dominance there by the Comets.
Score.
Yeah, that's really the clean play you want to see out of the Comets. They came into the first point with a very, very clear objective. They managed to overcome that anti-nade through just solid target focus, taking down the members of the Fighting Potatoes before they could go down themselves. And then you saw in the second point, there was a very well-timed push in with that rally of the Brigitte that Funny Name is still running and still looking fantastic on, by the way. And that immediately netted them a kill, slowly and systematically pushed their way onto point, forced everybody back into a corner, and just swung through them with Ruby's hammer.
Yeah, right now, Potatoes got to make an adjustment. If you're going to run this spam comp at these, you can't let yourself get into a brawling situation. The Brawl is just controlling this right now, and the Potatoes are not making any adjustments to accommodate for that. They're running these spam comps, but they're just not really accounting for that at all. Like, when you're running these spam comps, you need to play at a distance and kite the enemy Brawl into you to force them to make bad choices. And right now, all they're doing is just letting the Brawl overwhelm them, and it's not good prep play there from the Potatoes. They need to make some adjustments right now, otherwise this night could quickly turn against them.
Yeah, that splash damage clearly wasn't enough. And I've got to say, Sipsty did a fantastic job countering the Pharah. The defense matrix was there pretty much exactly when they needed it. And now it's going to be up to the Fighting Potatoes to try and take Alex out of the skies as he locks in the Pharah. And they're going to try and play a little bit of cheese, a little bit of cheddar. What do you think of this composition, Ski?
I do like the composition, actually. It's something we haven't seen from them, and honestly, it might be unexpected from the Potatoes. They've been playing it all Brawl the whole time and trying something a little different here, but we do see the Telly come out. Unfortunately, Deathnot not able to make it through. Potatoes did get set up on a point, did get a tick out of this. Right now, they got to play very careful with Euphoria taking that biotic grenade.
Yeah, the Bionic Grenade was huge, but he's not going to be going down. In fact, it's going to be Ruby getting a little bit too greedy inside of this point. Goes down to this Metro turret that just chunked him out. Now it's supports and Afara trying to dish out the damage, and it might just be enough. With Alex and True still alive, they've been standout so far, and they're going to look to do it even more. The Farah Mercy still up, so that means that damage threat is still there. Deathnot has made his way onto the point, but this Reaper just doesn't stand a chance to the Pharah that's sitting in the skies right now for absolutely free. Solitaire is trying to do something about it right now, and the spawn advantages might just play out for them, but it's been a great stagger here out of Alex.
Yeah, they're really drawing this fight out. A seemingly lost fight there. We see the Barrage come in, trying to turn something, but they cannot. Oh, they only did the deep back on it. And Alex just still getting pocketed. Potatoes just can't take him out of the sky, and they take Euphoria down. This is some tough target focus here from the Potatoes. They're trying to get Alex down, and they finally do. But in the meantime, there's been reinforcements coming in from Comets. Here comes the rest of the team. We see the teleporter come up to try to get the team back in time. And there goes the wall having to be invested by Immortal to try to lock down this fight. Potatoes trying to bring this one back. They lose Shepvik, though, in a tough situation, and the Diva Bomb gets invested as well. Potatoes just trying to secure this point here and are really struggling to do so. The remake comes in from Sip's team. Comets with an excellent stagger here. My goodness.
So there's one thing I do want to mention, is there's two parts to target focus. There's making sure you're all shooting the same target, and then there's making sure you're hitting the target. And I feel like that was really just the issue that the Potatoes were having later on into that fight, dealing with the VAR, especially since they didn't really have a long-range hit scan to work with. They didn't swap to the McCree until later. They were stuck with just the Symmetra as well as the Reaper, so nothing really to take her out of the sky. Oh my god, a great anti-nade, though, coming out from Funny Name is going to allow them to do a whole lot. Truth is up on the high ground. He's got the perfect view for a Deadeye, and now he's going to unleash hell from the high ground as Euphoria scatters for
Tank line is down for Comets, but it's just not enough. Potatoes needed to do didn't put any pressure onto that McCree, who was able to get that great Deadeye off. And Potato is going to need to reorganize and reset here, and we see Immortal making that switch back onto his Doomfist.
Yeah, I think that's a real trap that a lot of teams fall into when they run the Symmetra, is going out and around the left portion of this map. When there's a Ana as well as a McCree being played, you're just giving up that far high ground for free, and with a Deadeye in his back pocket, that's almost a guaranteed fight win. Like, there's not many things you can do other than change your approach entirely, because I don't think that was the option they should have gone for.
I agree. I don't think it was the option at all. They're taking this fight up to the top left. Gonna try to bring in the fight, but Immortal getting ahead of his tank line, almost taken down. Potato is trying to get an opportunity.
Oh no, it's Alex in the back line. He's got a barrage. He's got 1, 2, finds another one, but goes down himself. But I think he's made more than enough of a dent into this Fighting Potatoes roster. Solitary Bird running away on the D.Va might make it out with their life. Nope, gets teammacked, and that's going to be one ugly stagger.
That is going to be, he's going to find a way to get off the edge of Hana. But tough situation there for the Potatoes. They didn't adjust to they didn't account for the Pharah. Potatoes need to continue to try to figure out what to do here. Really struggling with that comp choice, it seems. They need to find a better plan of attack, and the ult situation is brutally against them.
Yeah, this does not look pretty. Alex is already another 40% up towards the barrage. They've given up the high ground yet again. This McCree and Ana are going to be menaces from up there. This Deadeye, the Coalescence, something has to come up big here for the Fighting Potatoes. They push their way onto the point. The bomb's chucked in over top, though. Shatter, and Sipsy finds 2. It's Euphoria gets laid out by the hammer of Ruby. And that's going to be yet another fight won with 2 minutes and 50 seconds left on the clock. The Fighting Potatoes need to kick it into high gear.
They really do. Lots of just not a great engagement there. They failed to account for the D.Va on really just a Reddit play, getting behind them and throwing that D.Va bomb in. A brutal biotic grenade, and just Comets looking really solid right now.
They only really have the Nano as well as the Noon coming into this next fight. So if the Fighting Potatoes decide to contest that high ground, I think they stand a pretty good chance of doing this one. If they manage to, then Death Knot will also be able to come in, use the high noon in a similar fashion from the high ground, force the entirety of the Comets back up. But no, they're pushing in from the low ground. They don't recognize the Deadeye as a threat. Now with Alex all over him, doesn't find anything with that barrage. Now Death Knot holding the door right now. The Deadeye forces everybody here from the Comets back, but they're not able to make much of it as the High Noon of Truth comes out and shows him how it's done. Finds 2. There's 3 members alive left on the point. Euphoria dropped extra low, tries to find the charge here onto CFT. Will manage to do so, keeping himself alive for just a moment longer, but it might just be too little too late. This is far as back alive, and Alex is looking to make his mark on this Fighting Potatoes roster.
Definitely. I mean, it's just Truth is doing an amazing job in his debut here with the Comets. It's a big High Noons really getting everything going for them, and it's just something that the Potatoes need to make adjustments where they need to account for him more, because right now he is controlling these fights. Alex, meanwhile, on that Pharah is just doing so much splash damage to the Potatoes, and they're not really putting enough pressure onto the Pharah to be able to push her back. So right now they have a great crossfire, and the Potatoes just have failed to really get anything going to stop this crossfire from causing a problem. And right now they're in a situation where the map win seems and that's a tough situation there for see Immortal go down.
Yeah, and now they may want to think about just backing out right here, biding their time, and I think, yeah, that's going to be the good decision made by the Fighting Potatoes. And I want to take a step back and look at how many of their fights they've taken from the low ground. You're playing into a Pharah McCree as well as an Ana. All heroes that just want to use high ground as well as the
staggers
open.
Again.
Yeah,
the Potatoes just are not resetting, and it's just the Comets. The Comets could easily just collapse in and destroy the Potatoes right now. They are just not. And the Potatoes, I don't know if it's mental right now or what, but they are not in this game. You can tell the frustration is really getting to them. They're waiting right now for Death Knot to get back on a final shot here. Death Knot coming in all alone, taking the Pharah on. And Potatoes gonna have to try to engage, but they're down 6-3 in ults. It's gonna be really tough.
That's a lot of check marks, but it's a good start here for the Potatoes as they manage to take out Funny Name on the Ana, making their way through on the point. It will be the more to touch. Alex, though, in with the barrage, manages to take out Solitary Bird, but now the Deadeye is here from Truth. Doesn't quite get much now. Death Knot on the high ground has a positional advantage with it. He finds 2 just in time. Death Knot shows up in the kill feed. Ruby Shatter gets through onto 1, but manages to get stunned out. Stops him from doing much of anything. Ruby finds the fire strike through, but the tanks are still alive here. But the Comets making the alive on the point. Euphoria swinging as much as they can, doing as much as they can. Sipsty's still alive with 2 ticks down on the point. This goes into overtime, but it's only going to be a draw possible. There's still 3 members of the Comets alive, though. If Euphoria has to find a lot of damage, finds 1, finds 2. He's searching for a 3rd. Funny Name desperately staying alive on this on the point, and that's just enough to get Ruby back onto the point. Oh my lord, Shepvik and Euphoria go down, and now it's just a tank and Death Knot as the cavalry start to come in. It's the sound barrier to keep the rest of his team alive, and this point continues to tick down, but there's absolutely zero kill potential here from the Fighting Potatoes. They just have to stall out until they can get a DPS
and we have a pause.
But it's a pause!
Unlucky, something has happened, and somebody has disconnected from the match here, it seems. Looks like we have Immortal DC, unfortunately, and we are trying to get that back right now. I just have to say, so that fight was really interesting because the Comets invested 6 ults and got 0 kills off of 6 ults. Immortal negated 3 of them. He got the freeze onto the Reinhardt, who was nanoed. Then he used his own ice block to corral the McCree into the stairwell, preventing him from coming out and getting the Deadeye when he would popped his Deadeye. And then on top of that, he walled off the Shatter. It was an incredible, almost a solo effort there to negate 3 ultimates from Immortal. And that really keyed the Potatoes back into this to make this last fight relevant, but they just didn't quite have enough to finish it off. It definitely looks like we're looking at a situation where the Comets have this in the bag. We're going to give Immortal a chance to get back here. But it's the Comets are kind of in a situation right now where they are firmly in control.
Yeah, we're looking at draw territory minimum, but like I mentioned, there's just no kill potential on this point. I believe, I can't quite see it from my screen, but I think it's a May and a Wrecking Ball alive on point. Actually, no, Immortal is down in the kill feed. It's a Lucio. Yeah, I don't think much is going down here. It's it might be a what do you think about next map kind of situation, Ski. So what do you think about next map?
I mean, we're going to go to halftime here. Potatoes, I mean, they've shown flashes of brilliance, but something is going wrong in the mental game right now for them where they are just not getting it right now. They need to continue to try to figure out what they're doing. We've seen these flashes where they're really just putting a lot of pressure onto the Comets and making it hard for them to get around. But I think the mental is just fried right now. They lost these first few fights and really engaged poorly. And then from there, it just was a nightmare. So looks like everybody's back here. So we're going to get this thing going. But again, Potatoes, dire straits here.
All right, back live on the point. There's not much they can do. Of course, the only man alive is the Lucio in the overtime takes down before he can even get a touch back in Ski Free. What do you think about next map?
Anyways, I think the Potatoes need to do exactly what I said. And Comets, honestly, stay the course. They're doing a really just everything right. And I think they're really just trying to answer some of the critics after last week. Last week was maybe a wake-up call for them that they're not going to have such an easy time getting through everything. And, you hate to see it for the Potatoes there. They're just really not getting it together right now. And, Comets just in prime position right now. Honestly, if this team keeps going this way, it's looking like a 4-0 Comets.
Someone needs to.
Yeah, I feel like what we've been seeing, though, is the Fighting Potatoes have excellent players on their team. We've seen standout plays from pretty much every single member, but it's the difference of you can have really good players, but I mean, even if consider the Comets players to be whatever you want, but they're just playing as a team better. And that's what this game has completely come down to. It's not knowing what you want to run for your strategy, attacking that second point on Hanamura. They tried 3 different ways of approaching the point, and I'm pretty sure only one of them was realistically viable while there's a Pharah and McCree alive. You just have to take that high ground. That's kind of a given when they have those kind of DPS threats. And so it's stuff like that, working as a team and having a plan, knowing what you're going to go into on that map. And that's the level of coaching that HQC is bringing to the Comets that the Fighting Taters are lacking.
Yeah, Fighting Potatoes definitely need to take a look at their comm structure right now, try to figure out what's going on, what's missing here that's keying them into what they need to get done in order to try to turn this thing around. We're going to see both teams getting reset here for halftime. Both teams coming back here. We'll be seeing you in about 10 minutes. Stay tuned. More Tranquility action coming right around the corner.
All right, and we are back from halftime right now. Fighting Potatoes currently down 2-0 to the Comets, looking to find their way back in after a little bit of a halftime pep talk. Had a good time, though. Got some orange slices, got some tea, and apologies for whatever microphone issues or conundrums there were. We're running a little bit of experimental stuff with the stream currently, so that's all that was, and we hope we can clean it up in the future. But as for right now, who needs to clean it up is going to be the Fighting Taters, and they've chosen Hollywood to do it on.
Yeah, and I think Hollywood's a good choice. Kind of plays it. Seen them on that Hanzo. We've seen Race FPV doing a lot of work on hit scans like Widowmaker. And honestly, it forces the Comets maybe to it's a little harder for that Brawl comp to really fully function on those first 2 points. So I think the Fighting Potatoes are looking to use this one to their advantage, trying to take the Brawl out of the picture here. Comets, though, I just think it's more of the same for them. Just how can they just keep this ball rolling, honestly?
Yeah, get themselves an ultimate advantage. I feel like the biggest opportunities that the Fighting Taters have been whenever the ultimate game is neutral. The second it goes in the Comets' favor, it starts to roll that way. They win 2-3 more fights off of that. But if the Fighting Taters can win these neutral fights early, disallow the Comets an ultimate advantage, that's when they're really, really going to have a shot at taking these maps off. And you know what? They've got to do it. They're just about a game point here.
Yeah, Comets right now just continuing to just be in dominant shape here. But again, I like the Hollywood pick for the Potatoes. Right now, we're just getting a couple last things ready here, making sure everybody's ready to go. Teams are ready. Production is finishing up here. We are on track right now, and it's a situation where I think the Potatoes they have to make some adjustments right now. They're just really struggling to fight that Brawl. So that's why I like the choice of Hollywood so much. Like I said, I would like to see Race maybe pull out something else here and I think that spam comp would be the right choice for them to toy with here, but it just hasn't been successful so far.
Yeah, spam composition, it is the correct thing to try and deal with this Brawl, to try and just put in that damage from Sky, put in splash damage, punish them for running it, but they haven't been disengaging properly with their tanks. We saw it on Hanamura. They got rolled over immediately on the first point when they ran that Farah Hanzo, and they weren't able to actually make anything out of it. I'd like to see him lock it in again here and try and do the same thing, this time with a little bit of wisdom gained during that halftime.
Potatoes need to make some adjustments. Definitely. Comets, I mean, what's if I'm looking at Comets right now, I think the whole team top to bottom is just, they're so strong. And I mean, I look at some players on their team, like Alex right now is also a returning player. He played for the Pacified Pythons last season. Pacified Pythons, as many may remember, are the team of roster changes. I believe they had roughly 25 of them last season in their rough venture in the Harmony tier last season. But Alex was one of the prime fixtures of that team. He started last season as a silver, and he's been climbing through the ranks throughout. It's definitely looking really good on that May pretty much all day today. And here we get going onto Hanamura. We see Potatoes on defense. I'm sorry, not Hanamura, Hollywood. The other H.
They're going to have a pretty good opportunity to do this one, though. Nothing really to deal with the spam they're going to be putting out. It's just the May Reaper. Unless Sips T can do something miraculous up against Race FPV right now, it's going to be a hard time for the Comets. The best opportunity they have. Euphoria finds the first kill, finds the second DMAC even. Now they just need to hold on to this corner, dish out the damage, and try and find the last few stragglers here. And Race FPV has been instrumental in this splash damage from over top. Has done so much for the Fighting Potatoes.
So much damage coming in. Oh, and the Moira off the baby diva. Oh god, Samito somewhere is pounding his desk on that one. But it is just an unfortunate circumstance for Sips T. And Race is already 70% of that barrage. He's continuing to pour that damage through the choke here.
Yeah, he is sitting pretty right now. They haven't really swapped anything to try and deal with him, though, and now they're going to be punished for it as that barrage finds two. Gets traded out here by Rose. They should be a pretty free res coming out from core, and that's going to be it. Another fight won here by the Fighting Potatoes.
Yes, great work from the Potatoes. Invested one ult, pretty much got a team kill. It's exactly what you want to see in that situation there. Good coordination for Potatoes, looking to bounce back after that rough first half. We see them coming back here with an Earth Shatter. No ultimates yet for the Comets. Potatoes right now very firmly in control with 2 solid fights.
Yeah, they've got Valkyrie, they've got Coalescence, they've got a Dragon sitting behind them. Euphoria Shadows have been impressive all night, and this is what I was talking about. They need to win those neutral fights so they can get that ultimate advantage and roll it through. And with Rose not on to a McCree at this point to deal with the Farah, I'm really curious how the Comets intend on winning this fight. The Dragons drop, catches really nobody out right now as the entirety of the Comets start to push their way onto the point. Euphoria finds 2 with the fan and the fire strike, a third even. Oh my lord, he's going off on point. Another one taken out, and nothing can stand in the way of Euphoria and their hammer.
Euphoria with a massive Earth Shatter part of that fight takes down Ruby and takes down Alex right away. And there's just nothing else the Comets could do after that. It was a dominant shatter, but I will point out they invested 4 ults into that fight. That could really bite them here, as Comets will come back here with 4 of their own, and Potatoes are going to need to do this fight without any ultimates on the docket. And we see Comets are investing really quickly because of they know this is coming. They know they have the advantage.
What's up? That barrage is starting to load up. It's 86% right now. Euphoria's under so much pressure, though. He's got to get this barrage up in time, and Sifty is just staring at this Pharah right now, making sure absolutely nothing bad happens, and that's going to be it. No opportunity to get the barrage off, no opportunity to do much of anything there, as great play from the Comets is going to allow them to push onto this point, only using 1 ultimate, mind you.
We do see the res, a very bold res coming in from Core as they manage to get. They're going to try to turn this around here. The Death Knot comes in with that Dragon Strike.
Oh my god, he's killing everything, but Rose has a Death Blossom, has something to say about it. Euphoria's back alive at this point. The Hammer's dishing out the damage onto the Reaper. He's got to reload, and that's not going to be enough to keep him alive. When you stop dealing damage, you stop healing, and now it's Race FPV dishing it out. That barrage finds another 2 as the Fighting Potatoes miraculously stabilize without even giving up a tick.
Amazing play there from the Fighting Potatoes to rally that back. A late barrage to secure that. Maybe not necessary, though. And we see another situation where Potatoes desperately behind in the ultimate economy. But we are in last fight territory for the Comets, and they got to get this full point here.
They've got a lot in their way, but they have the ultimates to do it, and Siv's T has been hitting some fantastic. Oh, immediately though, forget your self-destruct. Euphoria's got a fire strike. Although it is chucked over, evens up the kill feed right now, but with Alex gone, that's a lot of sustain now out of the way. Solitary Bird keeping Euphoria alive, and this Reinhardt just demands so much respect on the point. Euphoria charges, finds the counter charge, and Death Knot is dealing so much damage from this high ground, just allowing any space to come in from the Comets, and Euphoria holding the door strong, make sure that absolutely nothing is going to happen. Rose comes in on the McCree, but it might be too little too late here, as the Taters have flipped the script, turned this one around, and they're going to full hold here on Hollywood.
Wow, dominant performance there from the Fighting Potatoes, answering everything the Comets threw at them very effectively. Race, great work on that Pharah throughout, but honestly, Euphoria on that main tank just took over the tank fights. Just dominant performance there from Euphoria, looking really strong right now.
Yeah, he's starting to kite the tanks back here, coming out from the Comets, and that's allowing both, both Race FPV and Death Knot to just put out so much damage. That last fight, you saw it. He held those bottom stairs, and Death Knot was just firing in arrows from the high ground. And then earlier on in the fights, it was Race FPV from the opposing high ground, and that crossfire allowed them to get so much damage in. And since their tanks weren't going down too early like we saw in Hanamura, since they managed to fix that issue, it allowed their composition to work properly. And now it's all really going to be here on the Comets to change it up and find something new that the Taters aren't quite prepared for.
Yeah, Comets looks to be coming out on this free. Potatoes look to be doing the exact same thing that worked for them on offense, trying to spin that around on defense. So we will get a Pharah duel here between Alex and Race FPV. That could be a very critical fight there to win. But Potatoes only need 1 tick, and you got to know that's got to be in their head right now. It's just, we can't blow this. Could we blow this? We can't blow this, right? We can't blow this. And but Comets, all they need to do is draw, and if they draw, they win the match.
Yeah, that could be a serious concern here for the Fighting Potatoes. They can guarantee themselves a little bit of equity if they manage to full hold this, but Alex has something to say about it. And oh my goodness, Rose and Alex. Alex finds it direct. Rose follows it up with a nice little body shot. The res not able to come through as a nice little boot comes in. That's going to allow the stagger to go on even further. But I like this disengage out of the Potatoes. It's going to be backing their way up, not letting too much of that ultimate charge go the way of Alex, especially on that Pharah. The first barrage up here is going to be huge. As a matter of fact, Race FPV actually going to be swapping off onto the McCree. I think that's the right call for this situation, as it forces Alex to kind of respect it a little bit.
Yeah, they're going to have to play a little bit more respectfully. We see the Lucio come in as well to help break through this choke, recognizing the splash damage coming in. I think it's the right choice. Euphoria right now taking very low. Both tanks very low for the Potatoes here as Euphoria charge deep into the Comets backline.
And that may have been a bit of a panic charge, and that's going to be what lets Ruby just last forever on that corner. And it's the same exact thing, but in reverse this time. Good disengage, good hold on that corner, and allowing their DPS to just do the work for them. The Comets are holding strong in this point so far. 2 minutes and 50 seconds left, though. That's plenty of time here for the Fighting Potatoes to make something out of this.
plenty of time. They're absolutely not out of this by any stretch of the imagination. We do see ults coming up here for both teams. That barrage from Alex is going to be a critical ult here, but both Farm Mercy taken very low by Race, who now has that ult of his own. He could really put some pressure onto that Farm Mercy with a good Deadeye. Oh, and Rose
He's got it. Doesn't find anybody. Death Knot though manages to find the dome of Rose as Alex lands it on the back line. Great DM out of Solitary Bird. Unfortunately not going to stop his support from going down. Buys enough time though for Ace FPV to find a kill of his own. And that tick might be coming soon. Yeti Sipsty is the last bastion of this Comets defense. It's a quick roll through and we're going to be seeing another map.
Death Knot came through in a big way for the team there. Solitary Bird with a great DM. Death Knot pouring in lots of damage on that Hanzo, solidifying 4 kills at the very end. Good job from the Fighting Potatoes on defense, and their offense was certainly no laughing matter either. Potatoes making it interesting here as we go to map 4.
Yeah, and I feel like Hanamura and the maps prior were all games of tank play, but the compositions that we've seen run, especially out of the Fighting Potatoes, forcing that issue with the poke composition, it's turning into a bit of a DPS game. Who can find that pick first? And it seems like this might be a game that Fighting Potatoes are better at playing.
Definitely, I would agree with that. And the Potatoes, I think, did the right thing there, trying to pull off kind of that spam play into the choke. It was a good map choice by them, and they capitalized on it. They did exactly what I talked about during halftime, is just try to find a way to mitigate that brawl that works so effectively for the Comets. Comets now have map choice, though, so you have to figure that everything is going to spin right back in their favor here. They could pick a map that could absolutely play into the comp choices that they like to run.
Yeah, and I think one of the interesting things is Comets don't actually have a halftime after this to try and get their way coached back in. Fighting Taters clearly had some good pep talking to them during halftime, and it's been working out for them so far. I'm interested to see where the Comets want to take this one, though. I suspect we'll see something a little bit more brawly, try and force that issue, allow themselves to play that composition that it seems like they're extremely practiced on, and it looks like it's going to be Havana, so actually not quite what I thought. Is this first point's going to be a tough cookie to break with that Brigitte.
Definitely. I did not expect the Havana choice, but it looks like, I mean, it honestly, looking at the rest of the maps, though, Havana might be just the best choice. You know, it's not the easiest map pool for brawl comps when you're looking at the escort maps. You have Gibraltar, which is very much not a brawl map, and then you have Route 66. Again, brawl struggles a lot on that map too. So honestly, Havana might just be the best choice they have. So this map pool seems to be working in the favor of the Potatoes potentially here. It's basically going to come down to whether or not Potatoes can continue to play those comps that work so strongly for them. Comets need to adjust right now and try to figure out a way to handle that spam coming in from the Fighting Potatoes. Well, spam and potatoes, you know, that just sounds like a great combo to me. Who's hungry? I want some breakfast.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty late here, but I'm down for a little bit of dinner here. Fighting Potatoes, though, they've got work to do before they can get their victory dessert, take it to Chili's or whatever you guys decide to do if you manage to pull off this reverse sweep, because that is a tall order. And the Comets have a trick up their sleeve, I'm assuming. If they're going to be picking Havana, you can't run that map. You can't run that composition. You didn't win the poke comp by any means. What exactly do they have prepared? Maybe a Widowmaker, maybe something interesting on this first point, or maybe they just look to win early and full hold here at the door.
You know, we've seen Alex on a Widowmaker before, not an unheard of thing. We've pull out that McCree with just expert level of accuracy. So it really could be the answer here for the Comets to try to bring out something maybe the Potatoes haven't seen yet in that Widowmaker. But the Potatoes, you know, it's for them, you know, I think right now we really haven't seen Death Knot get hot on that Hanzo like a lot of matches that we've seen so far this season. Euphoria is just kind of coming into his own, and it just hasn't really been going going according to plan for the Potatoes up until that last map. So, you know, we'll see what happens here. This map definitely, I think, plays into the hands of the Potatoes comfort comps, but it looks like we are going to start this one off with the looks like we're going to start this off with the old close hold from the Fighting Potatoes.
Yeah, Death Knot locking in the Reaper Immortal as well on the Zarya. Very, very different to the Diva that we were seeing prior. So I'm interested to see how this works out here as both teams look to switch up their composition. Actually, no, it's going to be the Comets sticking to their old faithful right now, as I suspect Ruby's probably just going to lock in Reinhardt here. And I think that bodes very, very well for them going into this fight.
It really does. It's going to be really interesting to see here. We have the... And they're going to go out the left side door. Maybe not right away. Maybe a small delay.
Small delay. Alex gets caught out by the wall, but catches 3 out with his own. Ruby charges through, finds Death Knot, and now with Euphoria and Immortal in a corner, Ruby is forced back though by the freeze. Has to respect it. I like what I'm seeing here out of the Comets though. Very, very tempered attack coming through as they're making sure they don't lose any members to anything silly here. Euphoria trying to regain some of that card position, but he just doesn't have the support that Ruby does, and now they should be able to make their way through, find these kills, and gain themselves an ultimate advantage. And this is a scary, scary place for the Potatoes to be in.
They will have another opportunity to contest this the first point here before they get to the end. No question about that. And they will have that opportunity to use that coalescence, but it does look like the Comets will answer with a rally and an Earth Shatter from Ruby. So the situation right now is definitely in the favor of the Comets. We see the DPS full switch actually from the Potatoes, and it's good choices, I think. Getting into those comfort mid-range picks that they seem to be doing really well in. But Immortal gets caught way out of position there, and the Comets do collapse on him and finish him off. Potatoes now down 5v6, and the rallying for the Comets is going to be a tough spot here for Potatoes.
And that is an area you absolutely can't make it. Now Shepvik lying on the ground. There's not much you can do about this one. The push starts to come in. It's been a good disengage here out of Euphoria. Doesn't get caught out by that Death Blossom. Trading one back, in fact, onto the Reaper. They might actually stand a chance of winning this one if they can find just one kill. The Shatter lands, finds 2. Now swinging through. Euphoria searching for that kill. Sneak in there for the card touch along with Race FPV. But this McCree is out of position. It's going to be a hard time dealing any damage to this Reinhardt shield. They're going to even commit the Graviton Surge to try and win this one. Race FPV's on the side. He's got the high noon. It's getting defense matrix though by Siv's T. And now it's pretty even on point. 3 members alive along with that coalescence. Oh, just in time. The bubble comes out here from Immortal. Managed to keep him and Shepard alive with a single button press. It's not going down yet, though. Euphoria makes his way back onto the point. And that's going to be it finally. A good stagger, but not quite enough from the Potatoes.
Potatoes did a good job there drawing that out as long as they did, but they will need to reset here, try to get them taken care of in the distillery. The distillery is the spot where they're going to have an advantage. Lots of high ground opportunities here for the Potatoes. They need to get a good stall here in order to really come back against the Comets.
Yeah, this is going to be the place where you're going to buy a majority of that time bank. And with 4 minutes on the clock, they'll take anything they can get. These Potatoes not quite done yet. They've got the high ground. And that's Blizzard chucked out by Alex. A curious one at that. Not really going to find anybody here. But now the fight should continue pretty much as normal. Except sans Blizzard. Death Knot, though, does have that dragon. He's going to be searching for it. Not
Potatoes are extremely split. Oh, and Sips with a great eat on the Death Knot. And the Potatoes they got split up and they just got punished for it. We see a high noon coming in from Race, finds Red Mudkip and Sipsty. Good ult there from Race, and he finds a third. So Race right now trying to put the Potatoes on his back, but he's at dire straits here right now. And it does look like the Comets are going to be able to clear this bridge.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the move from Euphoria. Just diving in on the backline, gets completely cut off from his team. No heals to be found anywhere. Forces Immortal to come with them and gets caught out. But now they've got another fight on their hands. And this is the end of this second point here. And Euphoria has to come up with something big right now with this Shatter to nullify 4 of these ultimates. But no, Ruby's in the way, and they've got a shield that's going to stop anything. Euphoria finds the charge through that they're looking for, but Truth has a Death Blossom. That's just going to end this fight all on its own. 2 members still remain for the Fighting Potatoes, but this one might just be over.
Just a controlling fight there from Comets in general. I mean, obviously the questionable May ult at the beginning, but it just, other than that, they did a great job keeping Death Knot uncomfortable there, and it just was absolutely dominant performance there from the Comets the whole way through.
Yeah, now 3 minutes 57 on the clock. This last point is notably tough to break. You're going to have the range advantage sitting right now in the hands of the Fighting Taters, and that's where it starts to come into play. Finds one onto Alex, and this might just be the hardest part of the map here for the Comets to break, as long as the Potatoes decide to play correctly. Death Knot finds another. He's going off.
Death Knot is very angry, and you can tell he's trying to put him back on his back here and just put an end to this one. Potatoes trying to grasp at straws here and just trying to find a way to stop the Comets' assault, and it looks like they have.
Yeah, I'm interested to see whether or not the Comets decide to pull out any swaps right now on this point, because Truth is going to have a hard time finding much value on this Reaper right now, as well as Funny Name. The Brigitte is going to struggle to get close. As long as Euphoria can disengage like they did on maps prior, I think this one's going to play into the hands of the Potatoes. Honestly, backing up here, they're just going to use this bridge to their advantage. There's not much the Comets can do other than just hold on and pray.
Right now, we do look for that grab dragon to be the big play here. Here comes the grab and the dragon. puts a big counter, and it's going to actually result in Race being knocked off the map. We see Death Knot get thrown behind the enemy team here. He's trying to stand on the cart and bring this thing back. Really an even fight right now.
And with Sneaky Kitten committing that Coalescence, it's on top of the card, but Death Knot's the only one alive, forced back off, and that fight was lost far too early here by the Fighting Potatoes. That's mistakes you can't be making. They got split up way too early by that Diva Bomb, and now they've got one more choke to hold. Will they manage to do it up against Zero? Ultimate's coming out from the Comets. Race FPV has the Deadeye, has the High Noon, chucks it from the high ground. Not going to be DM'd quite in time. Red Mud Kip does manage to go down. Chepvik plants another onto the main tank here of the Comets. Now forwards 4 on the point. Chepvik desperately trying to hold on. Rose searches for the Death Boss and finds one. Alex finds another, and that's just good. Great target focus coming out from the Comets that wins them that.
Comets just dominant the whole way through. Brief flashes from the Potatoes trying to stall them out, but they just did an amazing job. The backline peel just wasn't there for the Potatoes. They had no support most of those fights, and Rose is just being completely unchecked. Just great play all in all from the Comets. Good coordination the whole way through. This is why they were the preseason favorites, everyone. This is why this is the team that everybody expected to be the Harmony tier champion.
Yeah, now pushing into their own attack. Fighting Taters have a big question. What do you run? Ski Free?
You know, I think they have to rely on those comfort picks that work so well for them, because we have seen those picks work really well, but they're really struggling to deal with May. They're really struggling to deal with the May and the Reaper. You know, it's just so much problems there really for both teams. I mean, right now it's worth mentioning again, like the winner of this match basically solidifies themselves as a Pool A team going into the next round. So it's a critical win or critical match for both teams. And the stakes are as high as they could possibly get. And Comets have answered the call in every way, and Potatoes just haven't really been there today. And it just seems like they're really struggling to get that chemistry in order here. So it looks like we do see that Death Knot Hanzo again, and we see Race back on that back on that Pharah. A great choice here for this early fight that they are very much expecting.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one to win. This orientation here ends itself very well into what the Comets want to do, and it already pays off. The Reinhardt's down. Euphoria eats the dust. There's a Pharah alive outside, though. Race FPV can start to put in the work, but it's going to be from a range right now as Alex starts getting chunked out. The Comets need to make sure they don't get too split up here. Sneaky Kitten goes down as well. So now it's just the Pharah in the back line, and Sipsy is looking for him.
Right, Pharah is in a tough spot there. Needs to get off the ground and get back into the sky. And he's back into the sky finally. Potato is just not really able to get much going off that initial push here. And Euphoria again pulled out and taken down yet again. Just really struggling to get anything going.
I think Euphoria needs to realize that he does need to play that disengaged style still. The Pharah is buying you room, the Pharah is buying you pressure, but you can't be pushing forward so quickly. You need to take space and then slowly give it up so that your Pharah can start to work on that backline while you're drawing all the attack.
He's just getting a little too deep each time, and it's causing a lot of problems. Potatoes are taking the long way around this time. Probably the right choice given the struggles they've had to this point. But Euphoria, again, gets walled out and taken down. Just not enough chemistry and coordination there. We see the unlucky.
That's a tilt barrage if I've ever seen one.
That is just a frustration barrage right there from Race. Potatoes really not able to get anything going here. We see just Comets are absolutely in control right now.
However, they've got the Dragon to try and work through this one, and with such a brawly comp, that Dragon can really find a lot of value. Sipsy, though, does know it's going to be up. If it's being seen coming, then he should be able to eat it. However, it really is a question of whether or not it's been seen. Baits out the wall, finally, Euphoria manages to stay alive out of spawn, but like I said, Sips T is a monster, and this is why he's someone to watch out for right now. In the shadow on top, Ruby's landed on thick right now. Truth tries to find a play of the game where the Death Boss is going to be completely denied that by the Fire Strike of Ruby. Now with a minute and 20 left on the, or a minute and 50 left on the clock, the Fighting Potatoes, it looks really rough. I'm not going to lie, Ski.
This frustration is clearly taking advantage. not coordinated, and it's just a situation where there's just so much frustration for that team, and they can't really get anything going right now. And now we see again a wall come out. Immortal's able to get out and away from that. They get a blizzard and a bomb. This is a bad situation here, but two picks right there for Race and Euphoria. They might be able to finally turn this thing around.
Oh, but there's still supports and tanks alive here for the Comets. This point stagger is going to last a good while, and if Ruby can actually find some value right now, it might be bad for the Fighting Potatoes. Good target focus, though, is going to net them another kill. Ruby does manage to go down on the Reinhardt. Euphoria is back alive, and finally, they break open this first point that the Comets have held tight.
Comets have held tight, but Potatoes are finally able to break through. They're unfortunately going to be in last fight territory here. They do have 4 ults. This could be enough to at least get through this first point here. Looking to take a lot of space here, trying to make it a lot more difficult for the Comets to get going here.
They've got the space. They're going to get through this first corner for free, but it's working past this May. That's going to be the trouble. Euphoria is not in a good position right now. He's perfectly able to be walled, but no. Wall whiffs, goes wide. Immortal drops the bomb. That's going to be a good spacing tool. Forces out the ice block out of Alex. Now Euphoria gets to disengage as much as they want. Gets charged through by the Reinhardt, but that might actually bode well here for the Fighting Potatoes. They back up, and Ruby's taking a lot of damage right now. Does go down. Immortal traded out, and that's going to be another shatter from Euphoria. Finds 4. Death Thought with the dragon to follow it up. Sifty is 2 dead to find that 8, and now it's going to be the Fighting Potatoes continuing to push their way through on this point.
As opposed to only partially dead.
Well, he was shattered.
Very dead.
He was shattered. He was half dead. He was shattered.
It's true. He's half dead. You're right. The Comets might have an opportunity to recontest here. Will they take it is the question. It looks like they might. And the Potatoes really don't have a great way to stop this. And yes, here comes the recontest. The tire is going to be everything for Race, and it finds nothing.
What a sound barrier out of Mudkip. Keeps his entire team alive. That might just be it, unless Death Knot has something to say about it. Finds Truth. Truth, however, does manage to demech. Immortal finds another one onto Ruby. That's the main tank down here. This bodes well with the Fighting Potatoes. If their DPS can start to turn on here, Raze and Death Knot have a good chance of pulling something off. The Diva Bomb's chucked in. It's just a little bit too far back. Only manages to find one. Medkip and Alex, the only 2 members alive on point. Sipsky's still alive. The Diva is going to start to stagger this one out. Alex forces it down into overtime. The May's still alive, but that's going to be point A taken against all odds here by the Fighting Taters, unless... No, there's not going to be a touch here.
No, they did not go for it again. And it looks like Potatoes are going to try to maybe stagger, but doesn't look like they're going to be able to get it taken advantage of. Potatoes right now trying to claim some space on the point B. They have very little time to work with, very little room for air, and they do have a Dragon Strike, and that's about it. The Comets are going to be able to answer with a Blizzard, where the Potatoes have had no answer for Blizzards all day. They desperately need an eat from Immortal to buy them some time in this.
And that's it. Alex just waits for the DM to go down, chucks it in. Death Blossom on top. You have to remember, though, Comets are throwing in a lot of ultimates, and this game is far from over. 2 minutes left on the clock. There's still plenty of time for Fighting Potatoes. I think that was probably a pretty large overcommitment out of the Comets.
I don't know if it was necessarily... I don't think they needed both. Yes, I think that was maybe a mistake. They have the rally, though, coming into the next fight. It's going to be a situation where it's a zero Potatoes. They really can't afford to lose another fight the rest of this map if they want to be able to have a chance here. So they gotta really bring the pressure right now and put it on the Comets in order to find a way to drag this one out. They have 3 ults coming back. That tire is going to be a big factor here. Oh, but Death Knot finds Mudkip. That's a big play there from Death Knot when they needed it most.
Euphoria finds a charge now onto Alex, and now with that May out of the picture, it's only a rally in their way. It probably won't do much here. Shatter comes out from Euphoria, manages to find 2. Shatter out of Ruby, though, finds 2 of his own, forces a sound barrier here out of Sneaky Kitten. I think that may have been
double support ult.
They needed that, yeah.
Double support ult. They're gonna regret that coming back around here with the Blizzard and the Death Blossom almost halfway done. That's gonna be a rough situation for the Potatoes here, but they do have a Diva Bomb and they do have a Rip Tire here to help secure the second point. Take it point by point here. They're doing everything they can. Potatoes really trying to put a fight up here in a big choke. Tough situation here. Race at PV looking for a big pick with the tire. He finds 2!
Oh, that's what he's looking for now, and Euphoria's starting to clean up. That hammer's starting to do work as the swing-in comes down onto the point. They might even be able to avoid overtime here on the second point, which it at least tells us that they're on pace here. They can complete this third point if they can do it without losing a fight.
Potatoes clutching up here right now, trying to show that they aren't necessarily... Yeah, tough. They already are behind in the time bank, so it's a tough spot here for the Potatoes to try to pull this one out. We see the Far Mercy now coming out for the Comets. Potatoes make an adjustment, moving Race to the Widowmaker. Definitely like that choice here. Double sniper on this last point is very potent, so we'll see if they're able to pull this off here with the double snipe. Euphoria, though, very low already from that spam.
I mean, the biggest thing that's going to do is force Alex to play respectfully. Alex thought he was going to have a lot of free reign on this far. He saw the composition that the Potatoes were running, and he thought he was going to counter it, but this is absolutely not doing that. Race FPV is cutting off so many sightlines, allowing Euphoria to take a lot of space. That Dragon is going to, we'll say it bought space here for the Fighting Potatoes. They pushed their way in. Euphoria gets on top of the tank line, gets a lot of damage down on Ruby, but it doesn't quite pay off. Truth, though, finds one on a Race FPV, takes that Widow out of the equation. Now Alex has free reign over the skies right now, dishing out so much damage over top these Potatoes. Finds one, finds another. He's got his barrage already up, and with 45 seconds left on this clock, Potatoes are in a bad place.
They definitely are. They're going to need some big plays here, and the brutal stagger on Death Knot. We are in last fight territory here for the Fighting Potatoes. They're going to have 4 to answer the 4 ults from the Comets. I think that Widow duel might be critical here in deciding who finishes this one off. Race is already taken very low and taken down by Truth. They're going to need Potatoes right now are all extremely low. They're trying to get reset and get that team healed up. They have to burn the beat just to be able to get in. Here comes the Coalescence. Oh, Diva Bomb comes in. Finds Ruby. That's a huge pick. And it takes out the Blizzard, or it takes out the, oh my goodness, the barrage from Alex as well.
And that's what they need to win this fight. Alex finds 3, searching for a 4th. Now he got the nano just in time with overtime taking down. There's not much that can take him out of the sky. Race FPV's on the ground. Oh no! Immortal Death Knot. They're doing so much damage right now. It's a 3-man army up against everything that the Comets have to offer, but even so, this map's sitting in overtime. They can't get off this cart. Euphoria has to play in some rough position if they want to win this map. The shot comes out! Finds 1, finds 2, the Mercy's down! It could be huge right now! As the Potatoes, they could have done it! Bombs over, finds nothing! The kills are rolling in, it's all blue! Alex, up to touch, 32%, no barrage in sight! 15 managed to touch the point, the stagger will start to come through. Truth can't do anything on this Widow, gets swung through. Euphoria is relentless right now. 50 down into the Baby Diva, gonna be looking for this resurrection right now, but Shepvik is having none of it as the Fighting Potatoes miraculously make their way through the 3rd point of Havana.
The clutch performance from the Fighting Potatoes, the DPS, the supports, the tanks all came clutch in the last possible moments. I don't know how they managed to pull it off, but they did. Incredible plays there from the Fighting Potatoes to drag this thing out of the depths. They have a chance still. They are not dead. This is not the Fighting Potatoes from seasons 1 and 3, boys and girls. This is the new Potatoes, and they are looking spicy.
This is not the Fighting Potatoes from map 1 and 2. Let's put it that way.
That's also true.
I think that is a very big difference right now. They look so much more formidable with a minute on the clock. They have to come up against this early hold again. What needs to happen here? They need to detail. They need to get their minds clear. Strategically, what do they got to change about how they approach this early Havana point?
I like what they're doing already. They're bringing out the Reaper. They're bringing out the Brigida. They can answer a lot of the threats there, and I think that's a great way to handle this immediate early rush we're going to see from the Comets. It's a necessary change, I think, for them to get where they need to get this thing going. Good luck here to the Comets, though. Good luck to the Potatoes. They got a tough fight to answer here. They struggled the first time around. We'll see if they can pull it off.
It's all about how well they can stick to Euphoria, stay inside of Euphoria's hitbox, avoid getting walled off. They don't have the Diva debate, and Euphoria already! God dang, dude! He gets walled yet again. You can't keep doing that! They're pushing through. They've got some damage. They might be able to find a pick here if Shepvik can keep these heals up, but with the supports down, that's going to be an easy hold right now for the Comets.
Unfortunate. They went right out the front door, try to take it right to him. That was a mistake. They needed to try a different route there. They should have seen that coming, and they did not react quick enough to do it. The Potatoes right now already in last fight territory, barely moving that cart out of spawn. I think it's moved exactly 2 meters. We see a wall come out, missed wall, so an opportunity now for the Potatoes to get aggressive. The charge comes in from Ruby, doesn't connect. That's critical right there. Maybe too reckless of a charge.
Sifty looks to split off the sports, though doesn't find any value back there. In fact, going to get demeked themselves. Euphoria now starting to push their way on. The May will not be able enough. Alex can't freeze them up nearly enough. Sifty gets the remake now, though. They'll be coming back in on this point. There's still 4 members of the Comets alive. This could be bad. Nice charge, though, from Euphoria. Manages to catch Sifty out. Takes out that mech. The Coalescence looks to find some kills, and the spawns are the only things that are keeping the Fighting Potatoes alive right now. They've got to start finding kills, but it's all red until just now. Shepvik takes out Funny Name, and that's sustained, so they cut in half.
Yeah,
Truth is back, though.
Ooh, Truth is back into this. The spawn advantage is clearly in Potatoes' favor, and they have tons built up, but they just haven't been able to find the kills. There are the kills finally. Sneaking Kittens, getting them with that Moira Orb, and finding a 3rd kill when they needed it most. And now the Potatoes are finally able to get going in the positive. The ults are really even right now. They could go either way.
I don't know, man. It's about to be 6 ultimates. Ironically, it's about to be the Comets that are fully loaded right here. All those check marks up there, they're looking real tasty. There's 4, though, on the side of the Fighting Potatoes, and many of which just spell absolute doom right now here for the Comets. Will they be able to close it out, though, is the question. It's going to take some clutch plays. There it is. The Graviton Surge dropped in. Erase FPV's over top. The Dead Blossom finds one. The bomb in the back line. It's not going to find anybody. Sipsty unable to do much about that one. Death Knot finds another one with the Deadeye, and their ultimates might just have been enough. Euphoria drops low here, but not taken out. Fire Strike to finish off that Reaper. That was the bane of them earlier on into the point. Sipsty demeked, and that's another fight win found out here by the Fighting Potatoes against all Ultimate Economy odds.
I cannot believe what I just saw, but Comets right now are in a great spot. They have that Death Blossom, and they don't have an answer for the Fighting Potatoes. They're going to need a flashbang for Death Knot to stop that. And look, the Comets are going to be able to answer here. They're going to be able to get a recontest in, and there's that Death Blossom.
Oh, it finds 2 after the Shadow of Ruby finds everybody here, and I think this is just the end of that push. Yep, like that. That push is over out of the Fighting Potatoes, but a valiant attempt nonetheless.
And it's definitely a winnable situation for the Potatoes as well. That is a that was just done to them by the Comets, and it could very easily happen for Potatoes as well. We could see this go either way, guys. The Potatoes are definitely not out of it, but the Comets are on the doorstep of winning this match and locking themselves in to Group A, or to Pool A, for the Stage 2.
All right, Ski-Free. 10 seconds on the clock. You get 1 shot of this defense. And the thing is, Comets can swap to anything they want to break this spawn hold, and they still have 2 minutes. Assume the Fighting Potatoes get 1, maybe 2 minutes out of this. There is still a significant clock advantage here. What do they need to do to overcome that?
They need an aggressive early hold. I think they need to get the 2 fights, just like what we saw with Comets there, in order to really have an opportunity to try to pull this thing out. And we do see, it looks like they are going to go for the early hold. I think it's the right choice. We see Death Knot back on that Hanzo. It's, again, a good comfort pick for him. It's a reliable pick, and we see that that Pharah come out as well from Race. That has worked in some situations. It hasn't worked in all of them. It's worth noting, though, that Comets are not running any hit scans early on here. It looks like actually the Potatoes are going to play it back. They're going to go for some spam, which honestly, I don't necessarily hate given the comp they're running here. I think Comets were expecting the early hold, and I think this might give a small advantage here to this first fight to the Potatoes, because they're going to be able to run up a lot more ult charge quicker.
Well, they're going with what found them the full hold earlier, because they're going to need to do it again. They've got a lot of space to work with. They bought themselves some time, and that's how it pays off. Alex goes down to race FPV. The pressure is too much. Red Mudkip dropped real low. The tank's still alive here, and as long as the Potatoes can make sure they don't lose members right now, they are sitting very pretty on this point, as we're looking for a swap to come out here, but it looks like it might not be made.
There's the 1 swap. There's 2 swaps. They swapped to the Ana, and they swapped to the McCree. It's the right choices, but Race also very close to that ult already. There it is. He's already got a barrage. The question is it effectively here with 3 counters sitting in front of him?
It's going to be all up to Sipsty to try and defense matrix as much of this as they can. Euphoria starting to get halfway towards that shatter, but it's going to be tough to counter anything. But this barrage comes up, it's over. Sipsty starts to eat and finds a sleep on a Race FPV. Goes down immortal. Down 2 members now. It's a rough one for the Fighting Potatoes. They're Mercy keeping them alive for the time being. Sneaky Kitten doing as much as they can, but Euphoria's dropped low. And with that purple grenade, he should be going down. He gets frozen up. How is he alive? Finally! dies, but the dragon out, finds Red Mudkip down in the back line. Gonna stop that sound barrier from coming out anytime soon. Immortal tries to make their way forward, but the sleep, the freeze, it's all too much CC as the Potatoes scramble down onto this point. They're starting to find the kills they've been looking for. All that pressure is finally paying off as Race FPV, he's searching for truth in the back line. Not gonna be finding anything, but a great hold on this corner by the Potatoes.
Searching for truth, not able to find the truth though. But the Potatoes right now are the truth after that hold. We're almost to last fight territory here for the Comets. The Potatoes are in really good shape. They got a good ult coming back here with the Valkyrie. That Earth Shatter from both Ruby and Euphoria is going to be critical, as well as, honestly, that Blizzard again. We need to see some ults coming up from the Potatoes here in order to try to bring this one back. Oh, and the sound barrier now for the Comets as well. It's a good situation for the Comets coming into the last fight.
Keep an eye out, though. Immortals coming up on that bomb. They have the bomb shatter combo. They don't find the eat, though. Blizzard's out, bombs over, finds 350! Oh my lord! He does it when they need him most! And now the Potatoes members are all going down on point here. Shepard needs to make sure that they don't get staggered out too badly. They will get another touch attempt here. Immortal is out of mech, though, and this is not a pretty situation for the Potatoes. They might be mashed. They need to be a little bit careful. They're pushing their way on, biding as much time as they can.
Looks like they will have an opportunity to recontest here. You're not done yet.
That's it, Euphoria has shattered. This is what matters most right now. Gets stunned out, though. He's dropped real low, and it's not enough. He doesn't even get to press Q. Now Ruby has free reign, doesn't find anybody with their shatter. The Dragon on point finds one, searching for another. Down 2 members right now. Sneakin looks for the touch. Bombs up, bombs over. High Noon's down, finds one. Death Knot searching to do the most right now on this point, but will be going down. Immortal, the only man to try and stagger this one out as best as they can. The Reinhardt's coming back alive, but there's no kill potential right now. Euphoria has to find something. There it is, a fire strike through. Sif T is going to be remeching soon. Race FPV managed to take him out, and now the stagger continues as Shepik is alive. And
that's but Race is sleeping.
Double. Race sleeps in the back line. The Nano's out onto Ruby, but both supports are alive. The shatter goes down onto Shepik, cutting that main support out of the equation. Euphoria still out from this point, and as long as that main takes alive, this point is alive right now. Race FPV though goes down with Death Blossom. Death Knot now left up to the task on this Genji Immortal. Oh my god, again!
We have 2 people who disconnected.
Were they might have been partied? I don't know. Oh, this is messed up.
This is
my
brutal.
heart. Yeti, my heart.
This is brutal. I can't believe it. Oh, the Potatoes. They lost their main healer on the point here in Sneaky Kittens. And
oh my god, they did.
They did. They lost 2 players on the point. Oh
from
my
the
god.
DC.
Oh no. That is unlucky. Oh my god. A horrible situation there for the Fighting Potatoes. They got something happened. It looks like they got put into a different we're dealing with it looks like some weird technical issues there. I have no idea what's going on. Oh, that is so unfortunate for the Fighting Potatoes.
Man.
Wow.
Wow. There's still 3 members alive on point.
Oh my goodness.
2 of them are tanks, 1 of them is a main support.
Oh my goodness. They
can't stagger this.
Did they get denied by a glitch or something? Who knows? It's unfortunate, but we have to play this one out. Critical, horrible situation there for the Fighting Potatoes. It's unclear what happened. Oh, just a brutal situation for the Potatoes right now. And it looks like
Are you okay?
You hate to see
it. Okay?
I hate to see any. This is a sad way to see a game end.
They are on their way to an incredible comeback. 2 DCs and 1. How? That is awful. Chat. I'm sorry. I don't know. There's not much to analyze here. They had 2 DCs.
Wait a minute.
The server closed.
Hold on a moment here, folks.
Oh my god.
What the actual heck?
Okay. All right, folks. We're gonna go to a short break while we figure this out. Luckily enough, you have an admin casting for you, so I think we'll get an executive decision on this one pretty quickly.
Let's get to halftime.
We'll see you guys in just about.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your patience tonight. Unfortunately, Blizzard has decided that now is a great time to have server issues. So unfortunately, due to the server issues, the remainder has been called. Cavalier Commissioner of the Overwatch Tranquility community has weighed in, and it has been decisioned that this match will be paused at 2-1, and we will replay Havana at a later date. We might not be able to stream it, so this match is not over. It is just on delay. So we'll see the Potatoes and Comets restarting on Havana at another time. If we can bring you the stream, we will absolutely try, and if we can't, we'll be sure to let you know what the results are. So unfortunately, this is going to be the end of the day here, Dor, but what a match to this point.
Yeti, I'm so sad. It was such a good game. I mean, Fighting Potatoes and Comets, clearly there's going to be some further going arguments as to who would have won that game and who would have taken this match, because it was close as all hell. But don't get too sad yet, because we do have more matches coming up for you this week. On Thursday, it's going to be Beer Pressure versus Instalock in your Discord match of the week, and followed up by Friday, it's going to be Poisonous versus Venomous, the snake matchup, as the production team has been calling it. And then upcoming a little bit in the future, we do have the break week, which will be starting on the 31st, which starts out with...
Yes, be sure to get your, if you're on a team and your captain or GM hasn't signed you up yet, be sure to get back on that as soon as you can, guys. It is a great opportunity for you guys to be a part of something special in the Tranquility community.
Yeah, I can tell you, last season, the little bit of break play that we had, the 3v3 Elim tournament was so much fun to watch. And I can't wait to see what's in store this year, because we have a Torb Hammers only tournament, as well as a 2v2 Elim tournament on the following day, followed up by Admin Pugs to top it all off. So a lot of fun stuff lined up. And I'm so sorry again that we couldn't finish this match off. I swear, if there was something we could have done about it, Jeff just said it wasn't in the cards for today. But thank you all so much for coming out. I know I'll be waiting to find out if we can get the rest of this match streamed. That'd be very much.
Definitely apologies for the stream issues tonight, guys. We tried experimental things and didn't quite work exactly how we were hoping, but at the same time, that's part of the reason why we do it, is because we want to bring you guys the best possible production every day. Huge shout outs go to Juke, as always, for the amazing work he puts in here. And Dor, awesome shout outs to you, the voice of Tranquility.
Thank you very much. If you guys want to find me anywhere, it's on Twitter at Dor_cast. Yeti, I think you have something you shout out as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could shout out my own Twitter at SkiFreeGG. I guess you can go there. And then Juke on Twitter, at friend Juke. Feel free to shout out if you have anything you want to add in, or any, if there's any opportunity you want to get part of the Tranquility community, make sure to hit ! Discord in the chat, guys, and you can become part of this awesome thing that we do here. And hopefully next time Blizzard doesn't decide that would be a good time to close down their servers.
Yeah, maybe not. I think that's all we actually have for you guys tonight, I suppose. Thank you again for coming out, and have a great rest of your St. Patrick's Day.